Hey everyone, it's Jen. So I got a question a couple days ago, and it was basically asking, how do I write a blog post? And I thought that was a great idea for a video. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to show you what I personally do. Now, this isn't necessarily the best way or a good way or a bad way or a wrong way. It's just what works well for me. And so far now, I've written over 500 blog posts, and I have just found that this is the most efficient and quick way for me to write an article. It keeps me focused on what I'm trying to accomplish. And I think it gives the best user experience for the reader. So let's dig into this. Now, you may remember from one of my food blogging videos that I came across this really interesting keyword that was best vegan chocolate chip cookies. Okay. And all we found were recipes. And there was no way of Google knowing if we actually wanted a recipe or if we wanted to buy them. So I had to kind of keep digging further. So we're going to write an article on this. And honestly, somebody should, because what's in the SERPs right now is awful. So, anyway, so I literally want my keyword to be in the title. Okay. And so this first spot on the top, best vegan chocolate chip cookies to buy. It's short, it's simple, and there is absolutely no confusion on the person searching is going to get what they're looking for. Okay. Now, once they get into the article, I'll have an intro, and then my next H2 line, it's going to clarify this a little bit. It's going to be best vegan chocolate chip cookies at the grocery store. And that entire phrase was actually auto suggested in the Google search bar. Then I'm going to have text, and then I'm going to have another H2 that says best vegan chocolate chip cookies for kids. Once again, auto suggest. Then best vegan chocolate chip cookies for a party, auto suggest. So my thinking here is we know that somebody is searching for cookies to buy. Okay. So the first H2 is assuming that this is just a general person, probably an adult. Second, almost half of all adults have kids. So it makes sense. And also, as a parent, I can tell you there are some things that my husband and I like. Our kids do not like it, or they like something completely different. So it's a good quantifier, if you will. And then the last one, if somebody is buying cookies, a lot of times you buy them for a party. So you see what I mean? We're keeping with the intent, but then we answer that intent, and then we give some more information based on, oh, by the way, if you're looking for kids, this is the one I would choose. If you were looking to take these to a party, these are the ones I would choose. Now, this type of query obviously makes sense to do it as a listicle format. But listicles can end up being this big, huge, long piece of text that's very hard to read and it's very hard to scan. Okay. So, what I like to do when I'm doing a list, typically I want my list to be a minimum of 5 items, but depending on what kind of listicle it is, it could be 20, 30, 40 items. If it's going to be a small list, what I like to do is under my H2, I'm going to put an H3 with the first cookie brand. Okay. And then under that, I'm going to do a list, and I am just going to do some very, very quick words to describe this brand. These are going to be adjectives, if you will. They were crunchy, they were affordable, they were tasty, they were expensive, they were soft baked, they were super sweet. And this allows somebody with their eyes to just scan real quick and go, oh, wait a minute, I don't like crunchy. Oh, I want soft baked. And they're going to go straight to here. Okay, so this is user experience. Under that little list, then I'm going to write out my description, and I'm really going to I'm really going to describe the taste, the appearance, the packaging, the price. All right. Next thing, after I've got my list done, I'm going to go back and I'm going to focus on images. And I like the very first image in my article to just be very, very clear what I'm talking about. So, for instance, it's a no fluff picture. Like this one is just a picture of vegan chocolate chips. It doesn't state a brand, it's just very, very clear. Okay. So, I've updated this a little bit. You can see where it says intro line 1, intro line 2. Typically, an introduction to an article is like 2 to 3 sentences. And I like to break it up into two little blocks so it's not just a gigantic thing of text. And this is where I'm going to start off saying, are you having a problem finding the best chocolate chip vegan cookies at the grocery store? Well, I did too. So I went on a mission and I tried every brand I could find. And here's the results. So, as a user, I'm going to go, well, wait a minute. They knew exactly what I was talking about. They went out and tried them all. And so I'm interested to see what they came up with. And then they got this nice, simple picture of a cookie. And then we're going to go down and I'm going to see all that nice list. So here's how I find the names of my pictures. Now, for this article, I have that very generic picture of the cookies. And then once I go down and I have all the different brands that I'm going to mention, I probably need to show what they look like, especially if it's a list of like 5. Okay. Now, if I'm doing a listicle that has like 20, 30, 40, 50, I'm only going to put a picture like every 4th or 5th one to break them up. But if it's a small list, then every item on that list really needs to have a picture. Not only so that way you're kind of spreading out your text, but also if I'm interested in buying this, I want to see what the packaging looks like. So when I get to the store, I'm like, ooh, it was the green package, the one I saw the picture of. That's the one I'm looking for. So whenever you're talking about food products, I have found the easiest, cheapest, literally zero cost way to get pictures. Okay. Everybody goes to the store with their phone. So I may have bought all these cookies at one time, but I'm not going to go out and buy all these cookies just for this blog post. Now I could, if I really liked those cookies and I wanted to have like 7 box cookies, totally fine. But I'm going to go off my experience that I already had these cookies. So I'm going to go take a picture with my phone of them on the shelf. Okay. And it doesn't have to be fancy. There's usually very bright lighting in a grocery store. I just take a really quick picture. And I can tell you this, I take tons of pictures in grocery stores and no one has ever said a word to me. Okay. And most of the time, other customers just think I'm sending a picture to somebody. They don't even think, oh, she must be writing a blog post. So, anyway, off on a tangent there. But we know from experience that what you name your pictures does matter. So instead of just labeling each one as vegan chocolate chip cookie, Tate's brand, this brand, da da da, what I do is I go to the related searches and the people also asked. And I am looking for terms or questions that are similar to what my article is about. So for this instance, vegan cookie brands would be a great name for a picture. Store-bought cookies without eggs. That would be a good name for a picture. What supermarket cookies are vegan? It's not the best one, but it would probably work in a pinch. Which brands of chocolate chips are vegan? That would be a great name for a picture. Okay, real quick. So on here, I like to put as many images as possible. Not only does it stretch out the text, but it's that user experience. So in this case, under cookie brand number 1, I'm going to put the first image. Under cookie brand number 2, I'm going to put another image. Then when I get to the next H2, I'm going to do another image. And for this one, if I don't have a picture of the actual like cookie brand because I already used it up above, this would be a great chance to find a picture of a kid eating a chocolate chip cookie. The best vegan chocolate chip cookies for a party, I would show like a platter of cookies with like decorations around it. So it's all contextually part of that H2. Now, you may be wondering why I haven't mentioned anything about LSIs, word count, on page SEO, plugins like Rank Math or Yoast, or even the DA of the ranking sites for this query or the keyword difficulty. And here's why. Okay. LSIs come naturally in language when you write about what you know. So if somebody actually knows vegan chocolate chip cookies, they are going to use words that are associated there that would be in context. Okay, you don't need a special list to go off of and make sure you hit them a certain number of times. That's actually gaming the system and it doesn't usually work. The second thing is word count. It does not matter if you write a 12,000 word article on this. If the search intent is off, if it's a horrible user experience, I mean, you really have to kind of gauge how many words does it take to answer this question? And I'll let you know a secret. It's however many it takes. Okay. If you are providing the information in a way where the user is able to scan it to get the information they need and possibly find out more information, then you're probably good. Most of my articles probably range between 750 to 1,000 keywords, and they do just fine. I honestly think that these huge tomes of blog posts that are 12,000 words long is a thing of the past. And the reason they write them that way is keyword stuffing and trying to get as much information in there as possible. And they're not focused on the user or what their search intent is. Now, as far as on page SEO and using plugins like Rank Math and Yoast, to me, most of them are such outdated practices, and they're literally just setting you up to see if you match a formula that they created, not Google. And most of the time, it's just gaming the system. It's not worth it to me, and it makes you sound really unnatural. The other thing is, I do not worry about the DA or the keyword difficulty in Ahrefs. This keyword, best vegan chocolate chip cookies, has a keyword difficulty of 45. Okay. Any brand new site would go, oh, there is no way that I can compete with that. But if you remember when we looked at the search results, the number 2 spot is literally a copy and paste of an Instagram post. Okay. It does not take a genius to figure out how to beat that. Okay. So I don't even worry about keyword difficulty at all. Instead of worrying about the difficulty and the competition and how big their DA is, I worry about search intent. I worry about user experience. And you will hear me repeat those over and over again. And I am so glad that Google is going through a helpful content update, because if people actually wrote for other people and tried to be helpful with their problems, we would all get a whole lot better at writing. Okay. So here's my questions. Was this helpful at all? Did this make writing your blog post a little bit easier and streamline? And so let me know in the comments below what you think. And if there's any other specific things that you'd like me to do a video on, please let me know. Have a great rest of your day.